We're back. Hopefully it's hopefully the stream's working okay. So we're gonna be how's it going, boys? All right. Hey, you know it. All right, so we're in the we're at the Fins tailgate. Hey, we're doing good. Yeah, I'm streaming over here on Twitch. You know how we do. Twitch.tv/Drubatron, boys. Same. You can find me on Twitter too.
Awesome. Good. Thanks for being here. And then CT, you were next.
Sorry,
How you
guys,
doing,
I
Bubba?
I had the
going on. Good. What's up, everybody?
Get the
Hey, and to the people that are trying to get in the back, I'm full. I got 12 back there right now. When I get an opening, I'll get you in. So we can only have 10 people on right now. Sweet, this is fun. So and then let's see who was next. I think it was Ian Baller. How you doing, Bubba?
I'm doing good. How are y'all?
Man, I'm doing good. Thanks for being here. And Tony, thanks for jumping on, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and give you the first question for either Joey or anybody on the panel. Let you lead it off because you always got good questions, and now's your time, Bubba.
Joey, before you guys got Tannehill, since you had no stake in the game as a Tennessee fan before he went there, did you hate that people moved off him so quickly, not realizing the kid was only a starting quarterback for 3 years in the pros and 1 year in college? So
for anybody just hopping in,
having no stake in the game before he went to Tennessee.
Fins tailgate.
We're talking about Tannehill, right?
Ryan
Tannehill here.
Tannehill.
Just chopping it up with the boys.
I'm gonna say the same thing I said when he got drafted to my friends in our war room. I don't draft or play with wide receivers at quarterback.
No, he was originally a quarterback when he was recruited, but he was forced to.
Right, but he went to wide receiver at A&M.
He had no choice because there was no other. He had like two quarterbacks in front of him, so that's what people need to realize.
Oh, dude, I got a guest in the back. I'm gonna have to wait to bring him on until we get around with the. He's got Jets are greater than Dolphins as his name. I don't even know who that is, but his name says Jets are greater than Dolphins.
Got me out for a minute, Mike, if you want.
All right, I want this guy.
Got one question before you bring that person up. Nobody here does drugs like that dude, right? Jets are better. I don't know. I was telling people they say drugs kill. You know, I'm.
All right, I'm gonna let him on, and I'm gonna see.
He's gonna really come after you because they beat y'all.
What's up, Matt?
Yeah, you can hear me.
Yeah, what's up, dude? Jets are greater than Dolphins. You a Jets fan?
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. So, enemy territory, man. What brought you to the show? Appreciate you being here, though.
I don't know. I just saw it on recommended.
Hey, we don't bash anybody's teams or allegiances. I don't. You may have somebody in here that doesn't think the Jets are a real team still, but that you're getting.
Oh, is it the Titans fan, the team we beat?
Oh,
I know he was gonna come after you on that one.
Hold on, I think I heard some shots fired outside. Let me duck.
I knew he was going for the throat on that one.
Well, see, I will. I'll give you that, Matt. But saying that the Jets are better than the Dolphins, that's called mental illness. It's called being delusional.
Hey, Matt,
we're just picking. We're just picking.
How long you been a Jets fan, Matt?
My life.
Your whole life? Are you a Zach Wilson believer?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sure. Really?
Y'all not ready to move off Zach Wilson, though, right?
No, he doesn't know. Zach
Y'all
Wilson's
like Jay
trash.
Cutler Jr.?
Who?
Yeah.
Jay Cutler Jr. That's Zach Wilson's real
Zach Wilson. Hang on, Matt. So I got a question for you. being that you're a division rival, we had Joey Two Wallets give his opinion on Miami Dolphins team. And I'm sure you've watched some of the acquisitions that has been done so far this offseason. Do you have a different level of respect for the Miami offense, or did it not change much for you as a Jets fan?
Once you got Mike McDaniels, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and then
really
we got,
like him.
we got
He's from the
Tyreek Hill,
Niners,
Taron
so,
Armstead, Cedric
yeah.
Wilson, and Raheem Mostert, Chase Edmonds. We went down the list and Connor Williams at left guard. Do you like? Are you worried about playing the Dolphins now?
No.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I
think
would.
we got a lot of acquisitions too to help our system and everything. So.
Well, I'm a big believer in Robert Saleh. I liked what he did
me
with the
too.
defense in San Francisco with all the talent he had and getting the max out of that. And I thought that was a really good hire for the Jets. And I know I think it was the Jets whose owner was on Trump's political team or something like that, and he came back into town. And that was the first thing he did was hire Robert Saleh. And I'm a big fan of his. So and I'm just glad that y'all have Michael Carter, you've got Zach Wilson, you've got Elijah Moore. Maybe, finally we can get some consistency in the AFC East and it's not just a one-horse race because I think for me, football is more fun when the division's rocking and rolling and there's no
competitive.
Easy victories per se.
Matt.
Yeah.
You there? Do you think you guys are going to draft another tackle and maybe the Linderbaum kid from Iowa to solidify your offensive line?
I think if Linderbaum's in the late 20s, I really want to trade up for him.
No, he's gonna be. They're predicting him to be in the top 10. Actually,
no, I don't want him in the top 10 at all. I'd rather take Sauce or Hamilton or like another edge. So,
hey Matt. So if you were the GM of the Jets, who would you take at y'all's first pick?
KT if he's there. I would probably try to trade back if KT is not there.
Mm-hmm.
So
you guys got 2 picks in the top 10 though, right?
Yeah, I'm higher on KT than most people, so that'd be a great pick.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get go ahead, Joey.
Yeah, before Matt, I mean, I know you guys beat Tennessee last year, but to be completely honest, I was surprised at the grit that you guys showed in the last 8 games as a New York Jets fan. Look, my whole family's from New York, so I understand what what do the kids say? I know what the assignment is. Well, if the New York Giants are going to play soft, both teams in New York can't be soft regardless of record. That team showed up and they were physical last year. So I expect we might have a physical New York Jets football team come up here in the next couple of years. That's just my expectation of Robert Saleh and what, the GM and what they're trying to build. So getting another pass rusher, I actually wouldn't be surprised to just do that all the time.
Yeah.
They got no receivers.
At least to slow down some AFC teams and all this firepower.
Yeah,
to put quarterbacks on their butt.
Are you talking about the year that y'all got what was his name? He ended up going to another team.
Years we went back-to-back AFC championships.
Yeah,
it was played really tough.
Leonard not Leonard.
What? Was it
Leonard
Williams? Yeah, Leonard Williams. That's right. That was 2012, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so Batman, what's up, dude? Thanks for joining up, man. I know Big John's trying to get in too. I think I got one more spot available. So,
what's up, Batman?
What's going on, Joey? What's going on, Michael and Mike, everybody? Drew Patron, CT, Crypto, Tony Pepperoni, Tony Manzano, Matt, Ian Baller. What's going on, everybody in the comment section? What's going on, guys?
Yeah, man. Can you say one thing? We all got a bunch of mobster names up in here, man.
Mobster days.
That's awesome. So Batman, go ahead and let everybody on the Fins Tailgate know where they can find you.
I'm on the Fins Tailgate
where we
panel.
can catch all your stuff, and then tell us your thoughts on the acquisition so far.
So we're a Miami Sports Fanatic show. I'm co-host with Gio, GOT. So we do shows right before you
Talking
guys.
with the
We just
guys
got
here.
off. And then
Usually have some
I
good
tried going on
debates, so
Hellfins on the Spanish one right now,
wanted to
trying to
bring
see
it
if I could jump
over
on
and
and throw a little Spanish, help them out. But they told me they're gonna have
see
me
what
as a
they got
guest,
going
so
on
I'm
here.
like, all right, cool with that.
If it gets boring,
as
then
far
we'll
as
hop out.
the
But
acquisitions,
we usually
obviously,
have
I'm
some pretty
excited.
good talks
I'm
here.
thrilled. We were a couple of us on here right now. We got some inside scoop on the things that are coming up. As far as the players are squashed, as far as not coming here anymore, the rumors. We're still in play for somebody, and we heard some crazy. We heard a scenario of a Tua trade that was going to go to San Fran, which is crazy. This is before McDaniel. This is
Oh,
way before.
okay.
So we heard all of this.
Okay.
Yeah, we heard all of this, and it was crazy. So, but no, I'm excited. I'm thrilled. I'm happy. I wanted to go to the owners' meetings tomorrow, but I got an appointment early. So by the time I make it over there, 2 hours up there,
working okay
I'm
now?
not gonna make it. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm thrilled. I'm happy. Want to jump on for a little bit before I hit the bed and just say what's up to everybody.
Yeah, what's up, dude? I appreciate it. Big John, I know you in the back. I'm gonna get you on here in just a second. So, Tony,
I don't know what was the issue before, but
what? So I think you were on
Seems like it's
Saturday,
working
and I briefly asked you, but I know you were having some issues that night. So, what is your idea of what this offense might look like next year?
What honestly, I want it to look like the offense that San Francisco ran in the 80s with Montana. That's the style of offense I want to be. That West Coast offense that what's his name? The coach.
That's what I was telling you. Bill Walsh. That's what I was trying to get everybody, point everybody toward.
Yeah.
Not the McDaniels version, but the Bill Walsh version. That's what we need to run.
Yeah, I don't want to run the. I'm not saying the Shanahan offense is West Coast offense is good, but I would prefer the Bill Walsh West Coast better.
What about you, Mr. Pepperoni?
That's crazy. Crazy.
I want an offense.
I'm not sure about that, but
control the ball, wear down defenses, keep opposing quarterbacks off the field.
Teams that can put points on the board.
Okay, and be able to go up to Buffalo, go up to Foxborough in December, and beat them.
Exhale, you come on here.
That's what I want.
I'll drop the link in Discord to the to the panel.
Yeah, Ian Baller, what's your question for Joey?
Hold on.
I wasn't here earlier, so I don't know if y'all asked him this question, but Joey, what's your take on Mike McDaniel as a head coach?
Mike McDaniel is a head coach. I said it earlier. I think he's he's a football version of
look, if I invite you, you got to be friendly, okay?
And those first couple of years, I think people realized that they got him talent. He learned how to develop them. He learned how to talk to stars.
Bring the smoke.
I don't know
if you got
for any guys that are Miami Heat fans.
I'll send you.
Jermaine back. I'm bringing him on in a second.
Well, yeah, I'm a huge one too. So
I'm surprised Mike on the mic hasn't hit me yet with it. So
hey, I know. I was being nice, Batman. Y'all didn't have your stars. That was an ass whooping that y'all needed to take. So.
Yeah, so I mean, when he got Jermaine O'Neal and he got Eddie Jones, he learned how to deal and develop even older stars. Yeah. He had LeBron. He learned who to bring in. Now, look at the crew that he's got now. He's a Swiss Army knife. I believe that McDaniel can be the Swiss Army knife. Those first couple of years, he's got to take his lumps. And this is where I'm shaky with Miami. Is Ross going to be patient enough?
Okay,
like Pat Riley was with Spo, will Ross be patient enough with McDaniel?
I'm going to send it to you in Discord.
Well, I think I'm more worried about the fans being patient.
It's $1 million question, yeah.
So, all right, Ian, appreciate it, bro. And I'm going to bring on Big John. And first thing I'm going to say is he's a huge Eric Spoelstra fan and well aware of the age similarities and the trajectory of their careers and all that kind of stuff. But, Big John, why don't you say what's up to Joey?
Okay, hold on.
So I didn't hear you.
The link got messed up.
I would say what's up to Joey, Big John. He was a guest host tonight, and he's here to join the rest of the panel.
Let's go,
man. Joey? How you doing, bro? Like the other man who knows what Spoelstra is. I'm not the only one.
Yeah, Spoelstra. I mean, he's the most consistent coach in basketball, if you ask me. even Rick Carlisle may have been tenured longer, but he just what Spoelstra's done year in and year out. And I'm a Mavericks fan, so what he's done year in and year out is make him a very tough-minded defensive team that wins on the defensive floor and then sets up the offensive.
Popovich is
so essentially what Mike just admitted is when he talks basketball, don't listen to him.
What
Hold on. Me and my man had a mic backstage yesterday. The man's pretty good. He knew a little bit.
I know. He knows. No. Him and I have talked a lot. I've just given him shit because he's a Dallas fan.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah, Joey seems.
The only reason why I don't knock Dallas is because they got Baby Bird. I didn't like Luka at first, but Baby Bird, man, he.
Hey Joey, let me ask you a question. That running back you guys got in Tennessee that killed us in the Tennessee game, because I saw it first. I saw the ass whooping firsthand. I was there. So that running back,
he's in Carolina now.
Oh, he went to Carolina. Damn, man, that's a monster, man.
He's out of Texas. That was my boy.
Okay,
bro.
There's
plug
a
and
reason.
play.
Just one quick thing before everybody gets excited about him. There's a reason that he only got signed a 1 year, $2 million deal. He lost a lot of fumbles that never went to the other team. He's got to learn how to carry that ball properly. He needs to go through that Tiki Barber lesson. Like he needs to hold it up high and hard. Because he holds it low like a loaf of bread. He ain't King Henry, man.
Adrian Peterson had that problem too, but they seem to fix it.
Ricky Williams too. Ricky Williams too. He used to trip on the grass and fumble.
That's an easy problem.
No, see, Ricky Williams was trying to get the grass. That's why he fumbled.
Oh,
he was bending down and pick it up. And
right.
You know,
oh man.
I didn't know which way to go.
Real quick, Big John, how's life, man? You want to update anybody on you doing good, doing great? What's going on?
I'm hanging in there, man. I want to give everybody says our explosive is a great coach. I got to give our explosive credit as a man. For you to be a consistent winner, learn under Pat Riley, and be able to marry an ex-cheerleader of the Miami, you can't beat that, bro.
I personally don't like that.
Not only was the coach, not only did the video coordinate, he took a cheerleader from the squad, and he wiped her, bro. You can't.
He's still an asshole in real life, though.
Yeah, but him and stepping out of Riley's shadow, man, he did it well, dude. He did it well.
Yep. So, XL, what's up, dude? Have you been here before? Because I haven't ever seen that name.
I have not, brother. I just got an invite from one of the Dolphins Nation brothers over here.
How you doing?
That's my boy, Mike. That's my boy, XL.
Awesome. What's up, dude? Thanks for joining us, man. Tell you got any YouTube channels or Twitter handles you want anybody to?
I got a Twitch that I game on, but I don't need to plug anything. I'm nobody. I just work hard and watch football. But no, I popped in because I was fucking, pardon my language, I was mouthing off when I was listening to somebody wanting to run a Joe Montana offense with Jimmy G in the drop back. I can't handle that. So I asked for the link. I had to come in here and rattle that off a little bit. Love the old school Niners. Steve Young is my guy. Joe Montana is my guy. We can go historical if you want, but that will not work. Like Jimmy G is not your man. That's Tua Light right there, and he's fucking 10 years deeper in. So I can't have that. I love the Niners actually. That's my backup team right there. But grew up in California. I could not handle hearing that we want a Tony Montana offense with Jimmy G in the drop back, and Kyle Shanahan can't pull that off. He's a great coach. He's pulling that off.
Yeah, you have to change quarterbacks, obviously.
Yeah, go ahead, Joey. And then Big
I'm
John.
sorry, man. If you gonna mention the San Francisco Niner greats, you said everybody but the guy who's not in the Hall of Fame, and I get sick and tired of everybody forgetting about Roger Craig like he did not matter in that offense. You got to realize Roger Craig is the reason why that Jerry Rice and John Taylor was always wide open. Okay? Like,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Hall of Fame, please.
You're not wrong, but I'm talking about the linchpin of that offense, which is the quarterback position. That's what was brought up. Like if they had a good quarterback, they could run that offense and they could build around that quarterback. But to run that offense, I mean, you had Tony Montana. You had Joe Montana.
You know what I mean?
Tony Montana. You had Montana, and then you had Steve Young. I know there was transitional, different coaches and everything, but you don't have the historical great QB position. That's why Shanahan is so great. He's scheming around these players. He's doing an amazing job.
Yeah, he's doing in around the quarterback positions, but he's doing.
He really is. And we're going to find out if that was McDaniel or Shanahan or just that whole tree, right? We're really going to find that out. I'm a big McDaniels guy, but you can't take anything away from Shanahan. That guy's a great. You take him if you can get him, but you cannot re-implement that offense with Jimmy G. You just cannot.
Go ahead, Big John.
You need somebody with a similar skill set.
Who was that delusional person that just the Milwaukee Bucks are winning the Eastern Conference? Somebody's smoking some Ricky Williams shit.
He's actually got the next question for Joey Tua. It's Aqua.
Aquavision, I'm sorry, bro. You need
There you go, Aquavision.
Hey, so he's got a question for Joey. It's about one of the QB prospects in the upcoming draft. He says,
Go for it.
He says, does Willis remind you of McNair a little, size and arm strength?
Actually, no. I know people are going to hate me on this. He reminds me of a bigger version of Achilles Smith.
Ooh.
But Achilles Smith didn't have it up here. That's where being a D2 prospect, we don't know. We see what's going on with our man over. He's playing for the Commies now.
Okay, I got pushback on that. The reason I think he might be all up here is because of his kind nature is off the field. I mean, the dude stops and helps homeless people and gives them food and helps with the community, and he's a very, very active in the community service aspect of life. And I don't think you do that unless you're right up here.
Okay, but hold on. But that's not where Achilles Smith had it bad. There was nothing wrong with his background. It was on the field and dealing with grown men in huddles. That's where Achilles Smith fell.
That's fair. I get that.
That's the only thing I'm worried about. If he's got that, I don't want to say if he's got that arm, because I think that arm is Michael Vick like. I remember seeing Michael Vick on his knees throwing 80-yard passes.
With a flick of a damn wrist. With a flick of a wrist. Michael Vick just go bloop.
Yeah. And it was gone.
Joey, I actually have a better comparison for Malik. He reminds me a little bit of Warren Moon.
He doesn't have that kind of size. Remember, Warren Moon was like 235. Let me double check that. Because Warren Moon.
I'm talking about his arm strength. I'm talking about the arm strength because Malik can sling it. I'm talking about the arm strength of Malik in terms of the Warren Moon comparison.
I really think people slept on Michael Vick's arm strength. I think
he's one of the greatest arm talents in history.
Flick of the wrist.
That's one of the
He's
best.
up there.
100%.
Flick of the wrist.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't compare anybody to Vic because you can't really compare. If you strictly want to say arm strength, that's one thing. But because he's so fast, that you can't make a fair comparison to Michael Vick that way.
I mean, the thing about Michael Vick, he had Algie Crumpler. He had what's his name? Was it White? Was his receiver? Work done. He never had like a nice catalog of an offense. Algie Crumpler was serviceable. He was pretty good. And White was good too.
Yeah,
but
Crumpler,
I mean, look what he did when he went to Philly. Look what Michael Vick did when he went to Philly.
Batman. So we got Batman. He had a bunch of guys. Nobody else remembers them, or unless you're a football head like me. Tony Martin, Jefferson, and Dwight. People got a reason. Look, the only reason why Chris Chandler, if anybody remembers that name, good at all. He was the reason why Chris Chandler got to Pro Bowl. Okay, and then we saw the Algie Crumplers, the Ward Guns come in later. You know what I mean?
Joey.
Yeah, it's on the back end of his career.
Go ahead, Big John.
Joey, I agree with you because I'm a football head too, but Michael Vick on the field with Andre Wright and Michael Haynes, that would have been different.
Hey,
Right.
Joey.
Sure would have.
Joey, will you clear that up real quick? Seriously? Like, I don't know where that came from, but get out of the comments, bro. I mean, I like you. I know you've been on here before, but that's bullshit.
Hey, if I paint my body, I'm purple. Okay?
Wow. Where did that comment come from?
I don't know. He said.
All I know is I heard a ton of compliments. That was a big positive conversation right there.
And Mike, the reason why people underestimate Michael Vick's arm a little bit is because
by the way, they're talking about a guy in the comments who was calling people racist here because
that's why people underestimate his arm.
Talking about
you can't blame him.
Joey.
That guy just got
he was always running for his life.
In the private chat, Matt says that Zach Wilson's the next Vic or greater than Vic.
No, Zach Wilson.
I told you earlier he was delusional. It's called mental issue.
All the way out on that.
What? Wait a minute. Hold on.
Hey, that's not bash him. He hasn't said a word.
That's beyond delusional.
No, I get it. But if you guys listen to anything on Sports Addict TV, you guys have heard me say it 100 times. And for those of you guys on here who don't know, Sports Addict TV, we live every Wednesday and we go on every Friday too with the Dolphins show. So that dude is Jay Cutler. He just ain't got a girl yet. Like,
and he ain't got the sticker.
No, he's got a better arm than Cutler. I'll give him that.
Hey, Crypto.
Can you remind me of Jay Cutler? Because I wasn't around. I wasn't watching the Jets when he.
Okay, the last time the Bears got to the NFC Championship game, he came out because he had a cramp and was riding a bike. That's Jay
I know his work ethic was.
I can't stand it. His work ethic is horrible. His demeanor, man, is just awful.
Jay Cutler had the spirit in his mouth.
Somebody sent the clip of Jay Cutler on that.
Zach Wilson is a stronger arm version of Chad Pennington, to be honest.
Oh, that's just wrong. That's disrespectful. That is it. Chad Pennington had a good head on his shoulders. He was one of the smartest quarterbacks in the league. He just had no talent, but he had hard work from Marshall and Randy Moss to go ahead with his no talent. He was a hustler with a good haircut. He didn't have an arm, though. Y'all cannot knock Chad Pennington.
Chad Pennington couldn't throw it.
Talk about noodle arm.
Exactly.
He was accurate.
The
original, he had that shoulder surgery, and after that shoulder surgery, dude, it was done. It was done after that shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
Now I will give Matt this: Zach Wilson is absolutely better than Sam Darnold. So there you go.
Dude, that was
a minor upgrade. He's way better. Plus, his second half, his last 9 games, he played pretty good.
Are we sure?
Okay,
we know he's more talented than Sam Darnold.
Hang on. On the Sam Darnold thing.
Yeah,
I'm going to say this before we get into anything else, and then I'm going to let Joey respond, Big John, and Batman. I know Batman's probably going to be getting out soon, but here's the so Sam Darnold's quarterback class. I thought if there was anybody that was going to be good from that class, it was Sam Darnold, because I watched what he did in the pocket against Texas when he was at USC, and I watched him manipulate the pocket on a pro level of manipulation, and I watched him work his way up in the pocket. He had the arm. He has the talent. He just I think he's had the short end of the stick. But Zach Wilson, I think, has a higher ceiling than Sam Darnold, but I don't think it's a done deal whether or not Zach Wilson's better than Sam Darnold.
But would you
Sam Darnold?
He's already exceeded him.
What's up, XL?
Sam Darnold. The game never slowed down for Sam Darnold. That's the problem. The game never slowed down for him.
My question for anybody that would answer it would be: would you pay that draft capital for that minor of an upgrade over Sam Darnold? No. I think Sam Darnold gets a bad rap. I think you did upgrade with Zach Wilson, but was that worth the capital you paid for it as a Jets fan? I'm not a Jets fan. I got no skin in the game.
Big John, what do you think about that comparison? Zach Wilson better than Sam Darnold?
I think before we get into the comparison, I think Sam Darnold had the David Carr experience. You know,
thank you. He stole my point.
You go to a team, they crush you, they sack you 100 times, they knock you out, they kill your confidence, and you never get a fair shake. Because as much as everybody wants to hate on to Sam Darnold or all these other quarterbacks, it depends. I said before, it depends on the situation you go to. The Jets for the last 30 years as a situation for a quarterback, ever since Ken O'Brien left, they've sucked. And I don't care what anybody says. And
but fumble himself.
Fumble himself. You know what I'm saying? He got him there. He got him there on the back of Curtis Martin, but he got him there. But he is an upgrade. He is an upgrade. But if they don't figure out a way to change the fortune of the Jets, they're going to do the same thing to him because he's got talent. I saw that guy throw. Even Aaron Rodgers was like, "Yo,
yeah,
he just slung that shit 4 yards across the field."
So, hey, Check your connection on the computer. You're cutting in and out real bad on your mic.
Just to add to that, I do think Zach Wilson could be a better quarterback than Sam Darnold, right? You got early picks. I know you want your defensive ends. I know you want all those beautiful players, right? But you got to get the kids some receivers. They got nobody out there that they don't even know who they are in their own house. You got to get some receivers there in the draft.
I think number 10, I want Garrett Wilson. If the Falcons don't pick him,
I'll tell you this right now. Garrett Wilson is amazing.
Sure one of them two picks.
I'm gonna tell you this. Garrett Wilson's amazing, but look out for Chris Olave. That guy's gonna be a monster.
No.
I'm telling you right now.
I might be in the minority, but Chris Olave is gonna be a bust. Mark my words. Especially
where he gets picked. No
way. Not with that kind of speed and route running.
No, bro.
No, he's not gonna be no bust.
You know who
he went back to school and stayed in school for a reason, so he can.
He reminds me of Ted Ginn. Same exact.
Not even close. This guy can route run. He can run routes.
His better routes are crisp, dude.
And he added the 4.2 speed with that.
I could be wrong, but I'm telling you, Chris Olave is going to be a bust. He's going to be all hype and no production.
Yeah, I think I like.
He's going to elevate any quarterback he's go to.
Are we sleeping on Elijah Moore?
Devontae Parker will end up having a better
Everyone's
career.
sleeping on Elijah Moore.
I love Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore is nasty. But Devontae Parker will have had a better career than Chris Olave will have in the NFL.
Oh my goodness, that's blasphemy.
Who said that take? That was you, Mike?
No.
Wow,
that's
it's just I'm dogging
on. That's a ballsy statement, Mike. That's a ballsy statement.
Mike, you're gonna give Crypto a heart
Joey,
attack.
you don't know this, but Crypto, Joey, you don't know this, but Crypto is the biggest Devontae Parker fan in this panel right now.
Okay, well I'm glad because hey man, Crypto, when Devontae Parker end up in Tennessee before this draft, you can go ahead and jump on the bandwagon with us.
He hates.
I don't want that.
No, he's being facetious. Crypto and I hate Parker.
I want that guy bad.
CT and Crypto.
Hey, look, we'll take a second round pick.
We'll give it to you for free. You don't even have to give us no draft pick.
You want Parker on the Titans?
Why do you want that?
Give me a used.
Well, how come you're not talking to Greer?
You could take him.
Hang on, Crypto.
Give me a used vending machine and we'll take him.
How about I send you 2 bottles of Coke Zero and an empty bottle of Pepsi?
Give me a Heineken Zero.
Hey, I will take it as long as you take his contract.
We don't mind the contract. It's a madhouse. There's no more guaranteed money at the end of that deal.
I'll take him to the airport myself. All
right, so
no, I'll take. There's no.
We're gonna use the post office trucks and give them to you. Patch them up and ship them over.
Damn! Parker has no more dead money cap on his contract. I would gladly take it.
Well, why do you want DVP with AJ Brown?
Your attitude's wrong. You're.
Because Tannehill's used to throwing to him. Be honest.
Oh,
he likes Tannehill.
He's happy to hand it off to Henry.
Fan.
I'm a big Tannehill guy, but
he's going to be a part of the 14-year plan because Tannehill already got 7 and Devontae's got 7. So he wanted a part of the 14-year extension.
Him and Devontae are going to be sipping some wine, eating some Ryu Needy on ice.
Yeah. And Joey will be happy with his 2 or 3 games a year.
So
Crypto, he wants that 14-year plan.
I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish the Devontae Parker, but before we get to you, I want one other person to comment on Devontae Parker because XL was trying to get a word in. Go ahead, XL.
I mean, I'm not hating on Devontae Parker. He's overpaid, but why the hell would you want him on the Titans? You want the biggest, slowest team on the planet in a fast-paced NFL right now? Like, I don't understand.
Couldn't have said it better.
I don't understand. You need something explosive, my guy. Like, trade for something fast. Like, come on. I like the Titans. I'm a big Tannehill guy. It doesn't make sense.
I'm telling you, they got quarterbacks in the combine faster than
I got you. I got my
yeah. Who was that guy, Cutler? The guy you wanted at 50, right?
I want to hear him talk. Yeah, let him go.
Yeah, go ahead, Joey.
Oh, okay. Everybody's going to be shocked when Robert Woods comes back healthy. You got to remember, he's been out a long minute, and he's already been rehabbing, and they've already said that he's ahead of schedule. That's one.
He's good.
2,
Robert Woods is good.
I'm a possession receiver guy. I like my John Taylor lookalikes. I don't need 8 Tyreek Hills. Speed does not kill anymore when everybody got speed. But when you got power to go along with that speed, I'm good to go. A.J. Brown can run you over. King Henry can run you over. And when Tannehill gets some cojones, he'll run you over too. So you know what? I don't mind being the one team that's big and powerful and got speed. I'll take all three.
Do you have an elite defense,
quick
like
first
a top
round
5
exits?
defense? Do you have a top 5 defense in Tennessee?
Yes.
No.
Can you hear me now?
Without a top 5 defense,
No.
name me a possession team that wins you a Super Bowl or gets you to the conference championship with a possession receivers and a possession running back.
They got a top 5 front 7 though.
Big John, you're next. Yeah.
Not none in the last 30 years.
That's what I'm saying.
The Chicago Bears of '85 was the last team.
DDP is a good player. He's a solid player. He does not fit the type.
The Bears of the early 2000s with Urlacher.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, Big John. Get in on this, Big John.
Well, I was asking if I'm still breaking up or you can hear me.
Oh, you can hear better now, for
It's
sure.
better. It's better.
A little better.
Hey, Big John, if I could just advise you, it really sounds like there's a short in the actual wire of your headset.
It's not my headset. The funny thing is, I was on with Crypto the other day, and me and Crypto did not have any interruptions.
Big John, are you using the computer or using the phone? Why don't you try to switch it up?
Maybe it's the connector on the computer, the audio connector on the computer.
Because you sound like you get chopped
Let me
up.
try to
We hear
connect
like
you on my
four
phone.
words.
Yeah, let me.
I'm gonna send him a Logitech adapter.
And
use a different
actually,
audio port.
we forgot one other team. How about the Ravens with Dilfer?
Yeah.
I don't think we forgot. I don't think we cared.
Yeah, that was called the Ravens defense.
Guys, I'm gonna jump out so when Big John gets back in, he can get in.
All right, Batman. Appreciate you,
All right,
brother.
much
Hey,
love, guys.
hang on
Fins
real
up.
quick.
Have a good night,
real quick.
Batman, nice to meet you, man.
Hey, last word. Thanks for coming back, first of all, but go ahead and give your last word before you hop off.
I kind of wanted to give you guys the news, but we just heard back there with CT. But I'm gonna hold on to it. But a lot of these players that were mentioned, like I said, all those they're pretty much dead. They're all dead as far as the scenarios of free agency. But there is
dead. They're all dead.
There is one player. There is one player, and if you want to go back and see what that player was, Cap send it in the private in the text like that video. That's the player. So hopefully we get him. So we'll see.
Wait, JC Treader's
Cap had a
dead?
video.
Yeah, the
I didn't
JC
know he
Treader.
put a
No,
video.
he didn't die in real life. I'm saying the scenario of him come to the team.
Scenario.
It's
It ain't happening.
yeah.
It ain't happening.
You
He wants
scared
more
me.
money, and
Yeah,
for some reason,
that
That
was
was
dead
hell
for
of a
real.
plane
Oh
ride,
my God!
man.
What happened to J.C. Treader? Did he jump off?
Much love, everybody. Hey, fins up.
Easy,
Hit
bro.
that like button.
Fins up, baby.
That would
He
be
did
freaky.
when we
real quick.
refused to give him 11 million.
real quick on Treader is I feel there might be something else medical wise because he should be signed already.
Nobody's interested
He's
in
not
him.
somebody that stays on the market long. He should be signed, and so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But
Yeah, that's exactly
there's still something gonna happen. It's just what it is at this point. It's all over the place. Like there's so many different ways that this team might go, and all I know is that they until the coaches meetings they hadn't said a damn word, and then they had to because they were there. So we'll see.
I got a question for the Dolphins side of things. Everybody keeps saying something's going to happen, but I think we're all looking at it as a free agency splash, which there's minimal opportunity left for that.
Trade.
Why? Yeah, well, trade, but same type of thing. Sorry, acquiring talent that's already in the NFL. Why don't we think future draft capital into this year's draft capital to go all in on positional needs in the draft is something that could happen? When somebody says we're not done yet, that could mean flipping 2 first-round assets into draft capital this year, into a center, into some pass rushing. I don't know why everybody looks at that like we got to make some big free agent splash. Something happening can be a draft signing.
I like this guy.
Yeah, he's very intelligent. He's a very intelligent person. I like it.
But Excel.
So
let me do one thing for Excel real quick.
Yeah.
Hit me, brother.
Excel, the only reason why you're not going to hear anything for future draft capital, 90% of that happens on draft day when teams get desperate when they want a certain acquisition that's in the draft. So I expect Miami and I expect Dallas and New England, all three of those teams, to be getting at least 3 picks next year because this draft is not that great. We know how Jerry Jones is.
Hey, I did it in my fantasy draft. traded
We know how
everything.
Jerry Jones is, and we know how Arthur Blank is. So also don't forget about the Falcons. They'll be getting draft capital for next year too.
Hey, so we're gonna
hear you.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead,
let Joey and I are gonna get into this question from Aqua, and then I'm gonna give a small little fantasy segment because I pulled off something pretty cool. But so Matt Ariza, Joey, you know who I'm talking about, right? Punter out of San Diego State that has a net right around 70.
Oh yeah,
average of right around 70. His nets are about 46, but the kid that can kick. And yes, Color's going to give you the pushback that it was in Colorado and high altitude areas. I get that. What I'm saying is, what are your thoughts on him? Is he worth a third, late third, early fourth? Or are you still not taking him till the fifth, being a punter?
If my punter is not signed past a 2-year contract, he could possibly be a very, very late second.
And I think because he kicks field goals too. So you're getting one position filled with one contract, or two positions filled with one contract. So
I want that guy. I want that guy bad.
Look, we all know the only team that ain't thinking about drafting
That's
him
a
is
generational kicking talent.
Why they drafted that? Why they give that kid so much money? I have no idea. But
PR.
I would take. Believe me, I would take a third round. I would take a third late second round flyer on.
So, and I'm gonna tell you why I agree. Because a lot of people may think I'm just agreeing to agree, but when you have a guy where if you're on let's say he doesn't kick 80-yard punts, let's say it's 60 to 70-yard punts in the NFL, and you're taking a guy that you get backed up on your own 10-yard line and he flips the field, and if you're backed up on your 5-yard line, he's going to flip the field, and you can have whoever you want back there. His hang time is great. And if it's not in a stadium like Dallas where that jumbo scoreboard, but now that they just redo the play, I've been there. The Cowboy Stadium is a monstrosity. It's the Death Star for Jerry Jones. But hang on, the guy gives you such an advantage.
The Finn's tailgate
and takes the pressure off your offense. If you do get backed up inside your own 20, to not have to worry about let's get to the 25 or 30 so we can flip the field. You can flip the field from the 10-yard line with that guy.
Dude.
I think you're right. I think a late second, early third is something that may shock the world, but I think you could realistically take a shot on him
here
because
just
he's such a weapon.
Chopping it up.
He's a weapon in the kicking game like Tyreek Hill is in the receiving game. There's nothing like him in the NFL. There's nobody like this kid. I've never seen anybody
right now we're
like
talking about
kid.
the
What's crazy about him also? What's crazy about him also is he can kick 50-yard field goals.
Exactly.
And the dude is the first one down there rocking guys on punt coverage.
He's a generational talent.
They ain't going to allow that in the NFL, man. Get over that nonsense. They are not going to allow their punter to do that in the NFL. He will get cold clocked and he will be out his first season.
Come on. Pat McAfee did it multiple times. Come on, man.
That's Pat McAfee. Where's Pat McAfee?
Mike, the only punter that I can see them allowing to do that is Lou Headley from the Hurricanes, because the guy played rugby in Australia. That tattooed freak from Color knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah, right? The Australian dude. Yeah, the Australian dude.
Yeah, he's the only guy.
We're just hoping
hey, Sean, do you have are you on Twitch too? Because I'm streaming on YouTube, which I appreciate you there. But if you want to hop over on the Twitch side, that's where we've got a couple
Sanders
other guys
won't have to do that duty
in the chat.
And since Ariza would be kicking off and punting, he'd be able to work intimately with both rundown crews.
But if you prefer
YouTube, instead of Jason can solely focus on his craft, putting the ball between the uprights,
which he was great at 2 years ago. He just had a down year. I think it was just mental.
And I'm sure real quick, Mike, I'm sure if Ariza is that gifted in other areas, I'm pretty sure he's probably a pretty good holder too. So.
And I just think you get so if you get Matt Ariza
out of it, I just no lower than the fourth round for me, man.
Well, in our exact situation,
no punter's that good.
If you get Matt Ariza, we have Sanders for 1 more year or 2 more years. I can't remember, but you get out of that contract and you only have to sign 1 contract. And that's when you need the flexibility for all your rookie contracts that are coming up now with Jalen Waddles, Jalen Phillips, Javon Hall, and Christian Wilkins. They're all coming up to where they're going to be due. And if you can it works out so perfect where if you pay 1 guy for 2 positions, then it gives you that extra $4 million or $3 million that they would have paid for a kicker or a punter. And it's gonna.
I just want them to bring
important.
him in here in like July, man, in August.
Well, I mean, even as a ball tender, like I said, he could.
Let's see what you really got. You know?
He's still gonna push it 60, 65 yards.
I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. I'm just saying. I'd like to see it. You know.
I would love to watch it. I would love to watch it and see what he could actually do in the thickness of the Miami air, the humidity and everything. But we're going to need so much flexibility in the cap and salary come 3 years from now that any type of advantage you can get on go ahead and setting it up to have flexibility then, like some of the contracts they've been out and how they structured them to where they can get out of them in a few years. Man, I love the kid. I know that we went on to a tangent, but Aqua asked about him, and he's my favorite guy in the draft. So
Joey. Yeah, I'm here.
Who was for you guys? Who was your best kicker that you guys didn't have to worry that he was going to constantly be missing kick? Like the last few decades, who was the most reliable kicker that Tennessee ever had? Like where you guys didn't have to worry about him missing a kick every game or something like that.
You know what? I love it when somebody tries to challenge my Tennessee Titan Houston Oilers fandom. That's easy, man. Aldo Greco. That guy back
I remember that guy because of his last name.
I mean, Joey, you bring out the names, man. Chris Chandler, Aldo.
Yeah, I remember that. Wow. I remember him.
I like
from
you, man.
51 and in. Automatic.
Appreciate you, Sean. Appreciate it, dude.
I gotta go find Joey and follow him somewhere.
Appreciate you,
Yeah, man. Go ahead. Look, I'm on Sports Daddy TV on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
Hey,
if you're in the baseball,
Chris Chandler, he was the one that ran the Dirty Bird show, right?
That's correct.
Okay, yeah. I want to make sure I'm in the right time frame.
Yeah, that was some color, Chris Chandler. DeAndre Rising.
What was his name? Damn it, I had it just in my head. The Cincinnati kicker this year.
The rookie.
Rockstar. That's
what's his name? But he kicked like 12 in a row in the playoffs.
Evan McPherson.
Yeah, McPherson.
Yeah, there you go. Whoever said that, great. Matt, was that you?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I know all the guys. I just sometimes names slip. I have extracurriculars that happen. It happens.
It's just nice having a guy like that, right?
Like right now. Smoking pot right now.
Jeez. It's nice having like that special teams guy that you can always count on in a pinch, right? It's you said it great. Like when you're stuck at the 10, when you're stuck at the 5, and if you can flip that field and you can put them on the 20, my gosh, like that's you absolutely you pay for that, dude. And he's a generational talent. He's not a guy that you come across very often, and I wouldn't be surprised if a team spends a second-round pick on him.
I think he's such a valuable weapon. Go ahead, Big John. Let's see if he can hear you better.
Yeah, Sean Wagner would be a great fit in Miami.
Way better. I'm gonna turn your volume up real quick.
The question is whether they can pay him what he wants to get paid.
Oh shit! It just went up.
It seems like Wagner may want to get paid a little bit more than Miami's willing to offer.
Are you on your 5G or are you on Wi-Fi? Okay, he's talking.
I'm Big John talking.
Yeah, I still can't hear you, Bubba.
Nope. Nothing.
Nope. Can't. We can't hear anything you're saying, Big John. Nothing at all. Let me make sure your mic's not all the way down. No, you're all the way up. Just can't hear you.
What up, JP? The interview.
What up, bro? How you doing tonight?
Wagner
had? Just living a life. Got my new flag. Glad you got to see it.
Yeah, I understand. You sent me that the other day. Some solid looking stuff.
Yeah, my buddy sent it to me. JP, when we doing our thing, bro?
You tell me when and let's do it, brother. Anytime, any place. You tell me when's good for you. Shoot me a text what days are good, what times are good, and we'll make it happen.
Hey, so JP, go ahead and enlighten everybody on what you got going on your end of things.
Yeah, I host a podcast. It's called Kings at the Round Table. We talk all things sports. We talk all things sports. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Podcast. We're working on some other things. Actually had Gio on. I'm going to be interviewing my boy Mike. We're going to be talking some Texas. We're going to be talking some Dolphins. We're going to be talking all sorts of sports on there. So any of y'all want to jump on and do an interview? It's going to be a long show, but it's a podcast. It's 2 hours long. We actually, believe it or not, last podcast we did, we broke the news of Steve Baum taking a Murray State basketball job. So, we got some inside information from college basketball too. So any of y'all ever want to do an interview on there, just let me know. We'll make it happen. But Mike, I'm looking forward to chatting with you, man. Looking forward to doing that with you, bud.
Yeah, I am too, man. I've been looking forward to it. Dude, I knew from the moment I first heard you, I knew your voice was radio all the way, Bubba.
22 years of sports talk radio. I'm only doing this for now until I can get back in actual radio. But hey, podcast is a wave of the future, bro. Podcasting is a wave of the future.
Yeah, JP, man, you sound like you've been on somebody's radio station, man.
I was spent the last
he was at an
10 years in NBC Sports Radio in Phoenix before I moved back home. So I've been around
did
the block.
Did he say that he wanted to go to Miami?
On the block.
I'd love to
have
him.
I might need to pick your brain sometime because I told my boy I want to get more into sports talk and I might want to do it professionally down the road.
I'll put my Twitter handle in the. Are you in the? If you're in,
by
the
way, Sean, if you want to keep talking,
I'll be glad to give you any,
even after the
any pointers and advice and information on that.
After the shows are over, we're over on Discord. I just dropped the link in the chat. And anybody that's watching,
hey, real quick,
feel free to jump in that Discord.
Yeah, I got it. I'll send it over.
Building a big community there for Dolphins. Dolphins fans, a safe place.
Who's going to be in the championship game? That's what I want your answer to be.
Over there too.
It's Duke, North Carolina, Villanova, Kansas. So who's going to be in the championship game? Joey, we'll start with you first.
Man, I'm mad, man, because I had Miami and Providence, but
Kohler had Miami in it.
Man, look, I'm sorry. I'm one of those guys, guards run the game. So if we're going to sit there and say that, I think Duke is really going to upset everybody. I think whoever wins that game between Duke and North Carolina is going to win it all.
So you don't think Kansas?
I think Huber's got North Carolina doing great things right now, and then everybody's fighting hard for Sasefsky. Hey, I can't spell it, but I can say it.
All right, Drew Bertrand, who's going to be in the championship game?
The best team is already eliminated, Miami. So I don't care who wins it.
That's fair. I like it. CT.
I think it's going to be Duke and Kansas, and the only reason I give Kansas a shot there is I'm all for the underdog. So that's where I'm at. But I think Duke wins it all. I just don't see it any other way.
Crypto.
Well, I've been Rock Chalk Jayhawk fan my whole life, so somebody has to play us in the championship rounds. It will be Kansas all the way. Rock Chalk Jayhawk, baby.
Hey, exhale.
Duke and Kansas. Duke takes it. Go Bruins.
All right. Kohler. Goodbye, Kohler.
Kohler speechless.
Sorry about that. Kansas and Duke.
Matt.
All right. I think Joey was right. I think whoever wins Duke, North Carolina is going to win it all. I think I would take Duke. And for the Nova game, I'm probably going to take Nova.
I think Nova is underrated every year they get there with Jay Wright, one of the most consistent basketball coaches in college. JP.
Interesting.
I'm so glad somebody else said Villanova, man. Jay Wright is the coach. Everybody's sleeping on him. You guys realize the last two times Villanova has been in the Final Four, they've beaten Kansas to get there, beaten Kansas to get to the national title game. They're going to do it again. And UNC, man, they are so bipolar. I mean, we've seen, they're playing their best basketball, but this Coach K farewell tour, it's going to go one more game. I think they get to the finals. I think they beat North Carolina. I think Hubert Davis, he's got a bright future, but it's going to end in the Final Four against Duke. But Villanova's cutting down the nets, man. It's not going to be a happy ending for Jay Wright. It's not going to be a happy ending for Coach K. Sorry, it don't work that way. This ain't Hollywood.
So I was going to say that. So that's my answer.
It'd be nice, though.
That the storybook is Duke in the final and they win.
That will mean it's rigged.
I don't disagree with that. But
conspiracy theories are coming out.
What I will say is Villanova to me is the wild card because they're in the Final Four, and when they get there, they usually make it to the championship. And they did it with Jalen Brunson 2 out of 3 years, and they're right back there again. Yeah, I think
we're gonna hang out for a little bit longer, and then
go ahead,
I'm
CT.
probably gonna call it a night because I'm.
No, I was just gonna say they get there, but then what happens?
Well, they won 2 out of 3 or 2 out of 4 4 years ago, or 2 out of 3 4 years ago.
We'll see.
We'll see.
They haven't lost the last 2 times they've been there, my brother. They haven't lost the last 2 times.
And then they didn't get there, and then they won it his senior year, was drafted 33rd overall, and they got back to the Final Four 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, they beat who was it?
They beat up on Michigan.
They beat Michigan. That final game,
Yeah, Villanova to me, I think that's the team for sure. I think they're going to end up pulling it out again. I just don't see that consistency not maintaining what they know how to do and what Jay Wright's built up there. I mean, if you're ranking college coaches, he's got to be top 4, top 5. But he's not going to be known by a lot of the people in the country because he's Villanova.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think Wagner is. I think Miami's making a move for Wagner.
For some reason.
My concern is. Let me turn this down. My concern is that he's
Joey. Why don't you ask a question?
He probably wants more than what Miami can give him
about our Dolphins, and then Matt. You're going to do the same thing after Joey asks his question.
We'll see. If they can land him for a decent price, it would be huge.
I want to hear your bold prediction. My bold prediction, I know some of you guys are not going to with 2 of the offensive line and already the stars in place, and I am aware of who they might get here soon a little bit that will make that offense unstoppable. I'm not saying that neither. So where do you guys see yourself? Where's your bold prediction about your offense with this team set up the way it is now?
Drew Bertrand, you go first.
Ooh, I'm so glad I was ready to jump on this one. I just did on my stream this afternoon. We were doing. I did a tier list of the NFL, and I saved the Dolphins for last. And this is probably the hottest of hot takes. The Dolphins will be a top 5 team, and not in the AFC. They'll be a top 5 team in the NFL, I believe.
Are they going to make the Final Four?
Yes, and I'm going to say this because I think the Dolphins were a team that probably should have been in the playoffs last year and didn't. And they're by far the most improved team in the NFL, and it's not even close. If we get Tua for 17 games. If we get a healthy Armstead for 10 to 12 games, and everything else is
13.
running on,
my lucky numbers.
I'd love it. Listen, I said if you get 10 games out of Armstead, it's a win because realistically his cap hits only like what? I think it's $8 million this year. No, less than $8 million.
Yeah, it's 8.5. I think it's 8.5, and it's 6.5
it is.
for Ogba,
Okay.
and 1.5.
It's
6 for Tyree.
If you get 10 games out of him this year, it's an absolute win. And again, I still don't think Miami's done. We've all been kind of talking about 1 or 2 couple moves that are in the wings right now. The Miami Dolphins are the most. This is the okay, and I'll say this, and I think everybody will agree with me. This on paper is the best Miami Dolphins team that we've had since the Marino days. They're the most improved team in the NFL this year, and
hang on, Joey.
By far.
What about Jay Fiedler? Jay Fiedler's teams.
I was about to say that was a team with Zach and Sam and Chambers and McDaniel.
This is a better team than that. This is a way better team
than
that.
Our offense was better than theirs.
All right, well, cool. So you say we're going to be in the Final Four. CT,
Absolutely.
What's your bold prediction of this Miami offense?
Sorry, Sean.
I think
he said you should watch it.
As a team,
check out Dolphins for Life game.
I think we'll get to
Wagner's
the divisional round. I don't think we're going
for
to
Miami.
championship
I think
games.
he's been in play from day one.
But I think that we're definitely going to be explosive on offense. I think I've said it before. That first year,
he's a guy that commands a lot of money.
For the offensive genius. Why?
And if they can make it work, right? If they can make a contract work with the numbers,
Mike McDaniel's out on his own.
I think he wants to be in Miami. I think there's a lot of guys that want to be in Miami. Like I said,
on Batman's channel, I'm fully healthy, but
I'm going to lower this a little bit more. the Miami Dolphins are a top 5 team. I absolutely believe that as we stand now, with the only big wild card being Tua Tagovailoa. So if Tua improves from last year, this is easily a top 5 team, and I think there are lots of guys. I think Deebo Samuels is a guy that wants to be in Miami. I think Bobby Wagner's the guy that wants to be in Miami. I think Miami's probably the most attractive landing spot right now for any free agent or a guy who's looking to get traded out. It's just a matter of making the dollars and cents work.
It does happen. I don't support it. That being said, I think CT was spot on. I think we make the wild card behind the Bills. I think we win the wild card round, lose the divisional round. In terms of defense, we are stout. In terms of offense, I think there's going to be a little bit to figure out. I still think we're going to find out that Tua's the guy. I think we're going to run into cap issues a couple of years down the line. If we're going to ever win the divisional round, I think it's going to be next year. And I do think Mike McDaniels is the guy.
Color. You're muted.
Good take, exhale. Great.
Color.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Yeah.
Did you fall asleep, Color?
No. I'm just distracted trying to work on some other stuff at the moment.
Sorry, you can pass me. Yeah, what's your bold prediction for Miami this year?
Oh, my bold prediction for Miami is wow. My bold prediction is that we're going to win the Super Bowl with Teddy Bridgewater.
Kick him out. Kick him out. Kick him out, Mike.
There we go.
Get him out of here.
That is a real bold prediction.
Pa fuera. Get him out.
Let me ask you a question. Can you hear me now?
It's very bold.
Big John, we can hear you way better now.
All right. Am I breaking up or not? Because I'm getting irritated already.
No,
you actually sound really good. Nice, deep, authoritative. Sounds great.
So, Matt.
This nigga said nice, deep, and authoritative.
Give your bold prediction for the Dolphins, Matt.
Who, me?
No, Matt. I'm getting to you last, Big John.
Yeah. My bold prediction would be that Tyreek goes for 800 and like 5 touchdowns.
Okay.
Because from what I see is that he doesn't. From what I saw, he didn't. And I'm not saying the Jets would be better position to win, but like he only wanted the money. That's the only thing he wanted. And if the Jets paid him like $38 million a year, he would still be making more because of tax.
Yep.
So with 0% income tax, he's making $30 million a year.
So your bold prediction.
So
so your bold prediction is that Tyreek is going to be subpar.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be worth the draft capital and the money.
He's going to have that many touchdowns
and
catching.
He's living in his home state.
Yeah. All right, goodbye.
That would be an indictment on the quarterback.
He's going to have another 10. He's going to have another 10 touchdowns running the ball.
All right, JP, bold prediction for the Dolphins, Bubba.
Boy, everybody's covered some really good ground here. Although I gotta say, I can't see, with all due respect to Matt, I can't see Tyreek shit in the bed that badly, man. No matter who's throwing him the football, he put up productivity with Alex Smith's noodle arm putting him in the rock. But all right, Edmonds puts up 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. Miami finishes top 10 in the running department. I still see them being a wild card team, but like others have echoed, not to beat a dead horse, I think they win their first playoff game in 20 years, but I think they lose in the second round of the playoffs divisional round. But I think we see a lot of progress.
We lose in the divisional round. I think
there's something we have that we haven't had in a long time, and that's sustainable hope.
And defensively is ready to win now.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Big John, what is your bold prediction for the Dolphins this year?
I wouldn't be surprised if we make it to the Super Bowl.
You're muted.
With the team that we have.
Poor Big John stud.
There you go. So what's your bold prediction, Big John?
I think we go 13-4, bro.
13-4. What do we do in the playoffs then?
What do we do in the playoffs? I think we win one game, and we might get bounced after the first win. But like I tell everybody, remember one thing: football, just like boxing, it's all about matchups. So if you run into a team that their secondary is their weakness.
He's right in the NFL.
They're in trouble because as much trash as everybody's been wanting to throw on Tua Tagovailoa, I'm going to tell you guys something I told EM, and nobody knows it because I haven't said it. I have 4 videos of Tua throwing footballs, and let me tell you guys something, dude. It is it's dangerous, dude. It's dangerous. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I saw Tua throw last year, and he was throwing the ball, but you could tell he wasn't all there. I saw the guy throw like a 40-yard dart, and I was like, you know what? If you can do that, and we could possibly just shock the end. I wouldn't be surprised if we almost go undefeated. If he throws like that, because if Tua throws that way, then you can't cover the whole field. You're going to have to cover everybody. If he's throwing like he threw last year where he's rolling out to his left and he can't complete a 7-yard out, then we got a problem. But if he's throwing the way I saw him throwing the video, people, I'm telling you guys right now, and Mike knows me, when my sources, I'm telling you, I don't miss. Listen, if he throws the way I saw in the video, holy shit. People, there's going to be a problem. There's going to be a problem.
Cool. So here's mine.
Well,
hang on, Crypto. So here's my bold prediction. 450 rushing attempts for 1,800 yards as a team. And the receiving yards for the team will go over 5,000. Tua is going to throw 4,800 to 5,000 yards, 32 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
Woo!
We get to the AFC Championship and we lose to Patrick Mahomes.
Woo!
Forget it. Let me give you
close to my number.
Mike, my nipples just got hard.
Let me give you a bold prediction. Tua is going to make the Pro Bowl. That's a bold prediction. There you go.
Go ahead, Joey.
Okay.
I have a bold prediction that's a little bit more specific. I think, and this is going to be huge, the Miami Dolphins will be the bottom 5 on defense on third downs, but on offense will be in the top 3 on third down conversions, which means defense is going to be tired because they're always on the field, and the offense is going to be great at converting, which is going to get them over 10 wins.
There you go.
And the postseason.
I like this guy.
Yeah. All right, Matt. Give us a question from a Jets fan for Dolphins fans. Give us a question. I'll send it to the panel.
All right. So, if hypothetically Tua doesn't perform how you guys would like him, just like how Darnold didn't perform in his 3rd year for us, would you be willing to part ways with him?
Yes. Joey, I'll let you answer first.
I'm sorry, repeat the question.
Will we be willing to part ways with Tua if he doesn't perform this year?
No. If he doesn't get hurt and he has a so-so year, no. If he gets hurt and has a so-so year, you let him go.
Drew.
He gone. You got to let him go.
CT. Yeah, CT.
Yep. Yes.
Crypto.
Yes, part ways, yes.
You can't.
Exhale.
You can't keep Tua another year.
No, either way. He's on a rookie deal. Mike McDaniels thinks he's the go to the offense.
If
There's no way until his deal is up. We might contemplate the 5th-year option. There's no way we let him go before that. Not happening. And 805, Matt?
There's not
Tyreek, 805? I can't let it go, so I was sitting on that. 805? Get a rookie. Anyway, no, we don't let him go till the deal's up. We make a trade then, shuffle up the offense. Our cap's too high.
So.
Can't do it.
They probably trade
Teddy
him.
Bridgewater will be cheaper and better.
Right. Yeah, what's the...
Can we get the request in writing?
If he struggles this year, what are you doing with him?
That was my answer. Can we get the request in writing?
Oh, goodness. JP.
Those who's willing to hold on after all of this been given to him, the problem of what we've been having for the last 30 years. Just not willing to just cut bait and move on.
Hey, Ron, get the lighter.
That's constantly living in purgatory.
JP, you moving on?
Matt, let me ask Matt. Yeah, Matt, let me ask you this. Because this is Jeopardy. I know this isn't Jeopardy question in the form of a question.
I'm gonna lower this. If Tua was bad the last 2 years, he wasn't bad. He just was not great. and he's not great with now that what we have, better offensive line, better running game, better wide receivers. There's how much more are you going to see him grow? He's got to have a incredible season this year, or he's got to go. He's got to go.
I mean, Justin Herbert's put up absurd numbers and hasn't made the playoffs. I mean,
yeah, but that will be given different parameters on what type of success, team success versus individual success.
That's what
they would talk about him individually not having success. Individually, he wouldn't be throwing 50 touchdowns and 4,000 yards. The question was based on his individual success.
I got
hold up, but
that was the question.
Hang on. Go ahead, JP.
Right. The question though is, again, statistically, what is a season that gives Tua some rope? Because we're assuming they're going to make the playoffs. We're assuming they're.
But we're assuming they're going to make the playoffs. Those numbers, then it wouldn't be.
Just a minute, homie. Just a minute. Give me a second here. We're assuming they're going to make the playoffs because Chris Grier went out and just dropped draft capital out the wazoo to get Tyreek Hill. He just went out and signed two pretty damn good offensive linemen, right? He has done everything to put this man in a position to succeed. So what does Tua need? We're assuming the Dolphins are in a position to win, that they're going to make the playoffs. What statistically is going to shut everybody to hell up? What statistically? Because if Tua throws for
4,500 yards, it's 4,500 yards, 30 touchdowns. I was going to say, JP, the number is going to be 4,500
The same type of success that Jared Goff got Jared Goff moved out the Super Bowl appearance.
No, I think if he throws for 4,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
Everybody's looking at like a Tua leash. I think this is an investment in Mike McDaniels. I think if you look at the tree that he comes from, you're investing in quarterbacks that are, in my opinion, subpar. I don't think Tua's subpar. It's not what I'm saying. Don't hear what I'm not saying. I think Tua's – I'm a Tua truther. But I will say if Tua fails, it's not a it's not looking bad on Tua. It's looking bad on McDaniels. They're investing in McDaniels. They know or they believe that McDaniels can make Tua succeed with his skill set. So it's not about Tua. It's about McDaniels. They're investing all this money to build around a quarterback that they know is accurate, that can throw can throw receivers open in the short and interim field. And McDaniels is the one on the clock. It's not Tua. Tua's on a rookie deal. He has a lot of draft capital. And they invested a ton of money into Mike McDaniels. That's my take.
I agree.
Okay,
right,
but he hitched his wagon to a quarterback.
Yeah, hang on. Go ahead, JP, and then Joey, and then.
That's why it's on him, because he hitched his wagon to Tua. He said it publicly.
I'm going to wrap this up real quick so others can have a say in this. If Tua don't make the playoffs, I'm sorry, guys, he's gone. I'm sorry, he's gone. If he don't make the playoffs after all that Chris Grier's done, he's gone, and I think Chris Grier's gone alongside with him. That's just the bottom line.
Cool.
If he don't put up over 4,000 yards, I think he might be in trouble too.
That's fair. Big
That's
John.
fair.
I
think the playoffs is the barometer, especially with
I don't think they'll get rid of Chris Grier. Chris Grier did everything right.
If he struggles,
no. I'm gonna say something real quick. You guys, everybody who's quick to get off of Tua needs to understand something. I said this in a past show. I don't know if everybody was up here who's up here now. Tua Tagovailoa is coming off an injury that no other human in football has ever come back from. Okay?
Yeah, but
you have to give the guy time to recover. That's why, one, I don't think they'll move off of Tua. First of all, if Tua throws for 30 touchdowns, okay, and throws for 4,000 yards, whether they make the playoffs or not, they're not going to blame Tua. I'm telling you right now. Because Tua threw 13. What was Tua's total touchdowns last year?
Total? 20?
Yeah.
No, it was like 18, right?
Okay. So if Tua throws 30.
16 touchdowns, 10 interceptions was the number last year.
Okay. So at the end of the day, if Tua throws for 30 touchdowns and 4,000 yards, they're not going to be complaining because of Tua. They're going to be complaining because the defense didn't hold up their end of the bargain. The bigger question is Boyer going to be able to replicate the defense that we assume we're going to be getting at the end of the season that we should have had last year, which at the end of the day, I told Mike
There's no reason
on the
to
panel,
think
I
that
told
Boyer will not
Cap this on the panel, I've told everybody quickly. The Miami Dolphins defense did not show up week 1 through 7, okay? And at the end of the day, the only person to blame for that is Brian Flores, and I'm going to tell you why. We played that cover zero amoeba defense from week 8 to the end of the season. We destroyed teams left and right. No.
They wasn't healthy in the
I'm not talking about. I'm not. Listen. I'm not talking about health or not health. Week 1, we made Mac Jones look like the second coming of Jesus. He checked down 27 times. We did nothing to change it, and they were talking about, oh, the problem is that Holland and Jalen Phillips didn't know the defense. I don't want to hear that because Holland and Jalen Phillips were playing minimal snaps game 1. Everybody on that field is a veteran because we had McCourty in the back, and they all know how to play cover zero defense. They chose not to run it, and they got their ass kicked week 1 through 7. So regardless of what everybody wants to say, look, if we play the amoeba defense against Jacksonville, does Jacksonville beat us? No, that would have been the playoffs right there. Just that one game. If we played the amoeba defense against Atlanta, when Tua threw 2 crappy interceptions, came back and gave us the lead, we win that game. So everybody who wants to blame Tua needs to pay attention.
All right, so
you know what I'm saying? I don't think we move on. I don't think we move on for Tua. I think Tua is going to have a Pro Bowl season. I'm telling you from what I've seen. If I tried to send the video, Mike, to EM, and it didn't let me. If I can send it to you, you'll see what I'm talking about, bro. A 40-yard rope. And I'm not one to exaggerate, bro. It was crazy.
Yeah. All right, cool. So thanks for wrapping that one up, Big John. That's the end of the questions. I'm going to drop – everybody can hang out back. Drop everybody back except for Joey and Matt. Right, and then I'm going to bring somebody else on. And then I'm going to bring everybody on for your final thoughts. So just hang out backstage for a second. All right. So what we like to do here at the Fins Tailgate is give people the opportunity to do a one-on-one debate if they want to.
So I'm gonna mute it here a little bit. Give me. Yeah, they're bringing on Cap, which is he's a good guy, but I think they're gonna come in here and roast this Jets fan. But listen, my take on the whole, do we move on from Tua if he has a bad year? The answer is absolutely. They move on from him very quickly, and they likely move on from Mike McDaniel as well. You can't. They can't be a subpar team with this roster that they have in place. You don't go out and spend tons of draft picks and tons of money on guys and be average. It's not going to work, and it's going to be if we are not a playoff team, it will be a catastrophic failure. You need to hit the I can't even think of it. The thought of this team not being a playoff contender is bad because you have to nuke the team at that point. Something went catastrophically wrong, whether it's Mike McDaniel not being the guy who we thought he was, not putting together the offense in the way that we thought he could, or whatever it may be. Something really, 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 really bad went wrong. And you've got to nuke the team and start over. Stephen Ross needs to sell the team. Chris Greer needs to go. Although Chris Greer probably wouldn't lose his job because, by all accounts, he's done everything right in building this team. It's going to come down to probably Mike McDaniel being gone, Tua being gone. And I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Greer saves his skin again just because what he's been able to do this offseason, what he was able to do in the draft last year. He's going to ride those successes because that's what a GM's supposed to do. GM's is supposed to go out and get the guys. The GM is supposed to build the team. It's up to the coach. It's up to everybody else to make it work. Let's go. We're going to have some final thoughts here on on the Fins tailgate, and then we'll hop off for the evening. Cap is going wild here.
2 or 3.
Exactly.
Cap is
Because
going
year 3
wild.
hasn't even been played yet.
So you want him? I got you. You're passionate. I love that shit. Sorry. You get Tua in year 4. Never worked with him. Super injured, as my other guy said, Big John. Right. Super injured. Year 4.
Yeah, but that
in my opinion, in the worst offensive scheme in the worst offensive scheme in the NFL, right? Like literally, I think we've had the worst offensive scheme in the NFL. There's nothing worse. So you get Tua in year 4. If Tua produces at any mild to upper echelon level at all, that's McDaniel's calling card. This is all about McDaniels. They're building a team around McDaniels. They hired him for his strengths. His strengths is working on an offense and a scheme that can work to the talents of his quarterback. I'm not saying they're going to pick up the 5th-year option, but if you don't have an option, this is a very weird year. We never get that option. If you don't have the option, we don't have the draft capital anymore to draft in a top 5 pick, maybe top 10 to get a quarterback we want. And if you do get a quarterback outside of the top 10, you got to invest in that guy for a couple years to get him ready. If we don't have a quarterback ready, we can't trade for an upper echelon quarterback. Who do you take? We're going to end up with the next Jay Cutler. We're going to get Zach Wilson in 2 years. Like, there's no quarterback that we're going to get that's going to take over for Tua and just be incredible. You're hoping that maybe we get a Jared Goff down the line, a Matt Ryan down the line, something like that. That's not better than Tua, right? So you're going to get, and Mike, you had an underrated comment right before we cut to this. A gentleman in your comment said, Tua is the type of guy to take less on a contract to help the team, right? This is somebody that will play for the team. And even if he's not the guy for the next 20 years, he's damn sure the guy for the next 5.
So again, we're doing the same thing of repeating history. And what are we doing here? The Adam Gase scenario where this guy's gonna have to pay the price because of Tua? That sounds just like Tannehill. And Crypto was right. This is looking more and more like a 7-year plan.
If you're comparing McDaniels to Adam Gase, I would argue that's the problem already. Right? If
you're the one saying that McDaniels is going to get fired after 1 year.
Let me redirect this, Cap. Hang on.
You're the one that said he's going to get fired after 1 year if Tua doesn't produce.
I said year 2. I said if Tua's gone after this year, McDaniels gets fired the year after because he's not going to get a quarterback other than Tua to do what he wants him to do.
So what the hell
hang on, Cap. Let me redirect this.
I know. I don't want us to be. I'm just telling the truth.
Let me redirect this. So what Cap is saying is what you're saying is proving his point and Crypto's point is that regardless of what happens, we are looking at the same type of situation with the quarterback that we had in Tannehill, where it's going to go through coach after coach after coach, and we're going to give him 7 years and then trade him off for nothing. Is that what you're saying is going to be most likely to happen rather than, and you're saying McDaniel's going to get fired and Tua is going to be here, regardless, we're going to do the same thing we did with Tannehill with Tua.
If you tell me, Mike, if you tell me, Mike, that we have the opportunity, if we don't make the playoffs this year coming up, with the no excuses, scenario that we had that we all agree upon with no excuses, if Tua doesn't produce, which I hope he does produce, bro, don't get me wrong. I want the Pro Bowl. I want the ring, but we need to have a contingency plan. You're telling me you wouldn't be content with something like a Lamar Jackson or somebody else is being mentioned out there if push comes to shove?
So Cap, and I was quick. I was the first one to answer the question of if we would move off of him. I said yes, but that's only because I do think there's a larger possibility than most people are giving it that if Tua shits the bed, and I say shit the bed, if we miss the playoffs and he looks abysmal, or Teddy has to play for him, or he gets hurt again, misses 6 games, something like that. If this is another repeat of year 2, I do think that there is a backup plan in place to maybe get somebody back to their hometown and play here. But I also believe that's why we kept the flexibility in the 2023
I hear Tom Brady also. Everybody's quick to turn down the Tom Brady scenario too. But I mean, crap. Like if push comes to shove, like you said, Exhale. What is our options? I'm giving you options, but people don't want to hear it, and they keep pushing the options back and back and back until the options aren't available anymore.
Lamar Jackson is not going to be an option. And to the same point, to Mike's point, when we invested in the offensive line, we didn't invest in time for Tua. We invested in Tua's health. We're trying to find out what Tua is, right? We need a little bit of time maybe for Tyreek. But we're
tomato, bro. We needed the O-line too. You know that and I know that.
No, 100%. Oh, 100%. Come on, 100%. But there's no and just to clarify, what I said earlier was if Tua's gone in year 1, McDaniels can be gone in year 2. I didn't say if Tua stays, McDaniel stays, because it worked. But if Tua's gone in year 1, that means we failed. And to JP's point earlier, what is success for Tua? If he puts up marginal numbers, he's successful because the bar is so low for Tua. If you get a marginal quarterback for McDaniels, they win. That's the whole selling point of McDaniels. We built a team with a high cap aside from the quarterback position. That's the whole thing that we did, just like Frisco did, just like every system he's been in has done. Matt Ryan got paid way after McDaniels,
of
right?
course. Look, he's doing it, and I give you that because he's doing it on his first year, and he's having that established because Chris Greer's doing that. And yeah, you know what I mean? Like I said, there's no excuses because you're having everything handed to you on a silver platter, coaching and quarterback.
I'm not making excuses for Tua. I'm looking at the cap situation and the coaching situation in a realistic environment.
XL, you know that before the Tyreek Hill deal, we had a way where we were going to have close to another $100 million next season to spend.
Yeah. And then you took the crack on the Debo rumors, which they could be rumors or not, but look, we'll have the. Wouldn't you want that type of like 3 Kings scenario down in Miami?
What I wanted, absolutely, but I don't think that's where we need to spend our money personally, right?
So you rather spend it where? Where would you rather spend it on a center and the secondary? Where? Because
I'd rather get a center and I'd rather get inside linebacker,
middle linebacker
right now.
Okay, so you know that you're gonna have to pay X at least more than what he wants, because if he wants 20 mil, you know you're gonna have to pay something.
Give it to X.
Yeah.
Give it to X.
I agree. I think he's the one irreplaceable. I actually think X is the only irreplaceable player on the defense.
Give it to X.
You don't find ball hawks like him every day in a draft.
Yeah, give it to X. But there's no. We have a small window. It's a proven.
Yeah, I'm kind of debating on myself. Yeah. You guys are like making me lean towards it.
Yeah, man, I
love it. Does X still want to be there? Has that whole scenario
that's what's making me like, because he's been not wanting to stay. That say that he wants to stay here. He's been having these cryptic messages.
Hang on, Cap. But I'm gonna put that to bed because what X did during the Pro Bowl and during this offseason, from all accounts, is he's taking the leadership role from the defense and he's spending time with Brandon Jones and he's spending time with Javon Holland and Jalen Phillips.
To be in Miami.
And he's trying to teach them how to be a better pro. I'm thinking he might be taking that mental switch that you take in older age to become more of a mentor and just I think he likes what the defense I think he likes it as a whole. It's a hell of a unit. And he is the elder statesman and he is the guy that when healthy is a top 3, maybe top 5 ball hawk of all time. And the numbers may not say that over his career, but when you watch how he plays, he's got wide receiver hands. He's one of the phenomenal playing the ball in the air. That part of his game is irreplaceable. And if you're going to move off of anybody on this defense, it has to be Byron Jones, because I think 100%. You can replace him by moving Needham out to the outside, or maybe maybe Surtain and Madison can get something out of Monogany. But I actually think XL and I think Cap, you both make valid points, but I think at the end of the day, this is a 2 to 3 year window now because of these contracts. The third year you can get out of them. The Terran Armstead, the Tyreek Hill, the Connor Williams, the Emmanuel Ogba, you can get out of all these. And so I think we've gone from a 5-year window or even a 4-year window down to 2 to 3 years. And I do think that they're showing their hand, that they're going for it now. They're bringing everything they can to the table now because they're trying to. Stephen Ross has said it, and I think people forget that he said it. He's 81 years old. He wants to win. He's not worried about the future anymore. He wants a championship before he ends his team off. And I think they put stock into that, and I think that's what they're lining up right now is a really great 2 to 3 year run of hopefully consistency on the offense and consistency on defense enough to make this team a threat in the AFC again, or just a formidable foe that gets at least a playoff victory every year and somebody that maybe it is year 3 before we make it to the AFC Championship. But I think if it comes down to Tua or McDaniel, I do believe they will choose McDaniel over Tua long term, because I think McDaniel has shown that he can put a staff together. It's one of the greatest offensive staffs this team has ever had on the coaching side of the ball. And the specific people, the Tyrone McKenzie, the Pat Surtain, the Sam Madison that he brought in on the defensive side of the ball to have a different perspective from.
I like the moves that we've made to our coaching staff, but I'm not ready to call them that. We haven't played a single game. We have no clue how good they are.
What we all want. I think we're about to have so much fun watching this team again. And I do think they pick McDaniel over Tua long term, because I think McDaniel is in the infant stage of building something special as far as the culture and the organization itself. Go ahead, XL. And then I'm gonna let you say your last word. You can have talk to Cap or have a question for
Food
Joey.
for thought, right? And I don't disagree with anybody because there's things I want and there's things that are reality, right? And I agree we should invest in McDaniel. I think McDaniel's amazing. But how do we reconcile the thought that I think all three of us have just had? How do we reconcile this thought? We have a 2 to 3 year window to win on the cap salary that we have right now, right? How do we reconcile the same thought into thinking we're going to get a top echelon quarterback in a 2 to 3 year window? Because if you're going to do that, you're going to blow up the team to create the cap space to do that. X is gone.
No, XL, let me stop you because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to push back against your argument. It might end it. It might make sense to you. Is that now they are building a plug and play team to where you don't need a top echelon quarterback. You need a quarterback that's a little bit better than average, like a Teddy Bridgewater or like the potential of a Teddy Bridgewater.
Do you think Tua is better than Teddy Bridgewater?
It's a plug and play team now. It's not a superstar quarterback needy team anymore.
So the variable now is injury because Tua is Teddy Okay, so Tua is Teddy Bridgewater or better at the very least. So now the variable is injury, right? But we're not getting a top tier quarterback to fill this role, and that's what I'm saying to Cap. Like that's why I think that Tua's rookie deal, not because Tua's great, but because his rookie deal it extends his shelf life on the Miami Dolphins because we built it around his rookie deal. This whole cap situation is built around McDaniels and Tua's rookie deal. Right? If Tua stays, McDaniel stays. If Tua leaves, there's a decent shot McDaniels leaves because the system blew up.
Look, that's the numbers. I agree with you on the numbers aspect of it. I agree. Look, the numbers aspect, you're absolutely right. I'm not going to debate that. It's 100% accurate. But that can be manipulated by trade. Real simple. If he doesn't produce, we can package him with somebody else. And I don't want a situation where we end up with a Baker Mayfield. I really don't. We need to have a quarterback that's established, point blank, period. We know that is the issue. It's been the issue ever since Marino.
Yeah.
Okay. Real quick, I agree, and I'll see you at a game, man.
XL. So go ahead and ask Joey the most random question you can think of, and then I'm gonna let Joey. Just wait.
Hold on, just give me 30 seconds just to rebuttal what Excel and Cap are talking about. Excel, I get what you mean that they're tied at the hip, but then again, that normally happens when the coach drafts the quarterback and he gets a chance to vet him out completely. So I don't think if McDaniels gets if McDaniel gets the culture right and the quarterback position can be enhanced on what they're doing in Miami, which I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to build a core in Miami. They're not building it around to his contract per se. And Cap, I think McDaniel right now is stuck in a 3-year window, but that's why I said earlier, I think Ross needs to keep him on longer because he's never been a head coach before. So everybody's saying that they're going to make the playoffs. I got them at 10 plus wins, but if they don't succeed in the playoffs, I wouldn't blow Tua up. I would only take him out of the issue if Teddy gets to stay, he learns the playbook, stays on next year. If Tua gets hurt, that's where I see the separation between church and state in this situation.
So it's injury because Teddy's not cheaper. Teddy's more expensive than Tua. If Tua plays like shit, Teddy's more expensive than Tua long term.
Yeah, and
Tua will be cheap.
100%.
If he's terrible, he'll be cheap. He'll know his value. His agent will direct him properly.
Yep.
But they built this around McDaniel's strengths.
Yep.
Right. And it's not that they built it around Tua. They built it around their cap availability.
Well, I will say this. McDaniel, the system he comes from makes mediocre quarterbacks better than average. So I just think it's not. We don't need Tua to be a superstar. We just need him to be a star to take it to the Super Bowl. I think just Tua being TT, I think that gets us to the second round of the playoffs. But XL, I want you to ask a random question for Joey, and then Cap, you're after that, and then I'm gonna start bringing people one on one.
How's our sloppy seconds, bro? I mean, I'm a big Tannehill guy. Honestly, I love Tannehill. I really, really do appreciate what you guys are doing up there. I live in Atlanta. I've seen Tennessee play quite a bit. I think AJ Brown is the guy, but hearing your Devontae Parker, here's my real question. Hearing your Devontae Parker statement, what's your vision for that offense? I mean, I think you're good enough on defense to be formidable. On offense, I really think personally you're lacking more than you think you do. What's your vision for that offense other than that ground and pound game?
Appreciate it, XL. I'm going to drop you back and let him answer. Go ahead, Joey.
Oh,
What's your vision for if you get Devontae Parker? What's your vision for the offense?
My vision for the Tennessee Titan offense, if we get Devontae Parker, is plain and simple a possession and time control offense. I know everybody likes ground and pound, but what do we always look at between the last, I'll say, 3 to 5 weeks of the season? The weather changes. Offenses tend to not be as high flying. I mean, that Buffalo Chiefs game last year was absolutely crazy. But when we start looking at these weather teams, San Francisco and the Green Bay, we're going to see more of that stuff happening more in, playoff time. Tennessee is built not only to be an early team, but they're also built to be a late team. So I like to be a balanced team. I think right now I have my slot receiver, who's Robert Woods. I got my deep threat, which is A.J. Brown. I need a possession guy. I just need one more possession guy because now I feel confident with my tight end. So
cool. All right, Cap, ask Joey a question, sir.
With that being said, would you do a Gesicki packaged in deal with the Chase Edmonds for Derrick Henry type of dealish? We'll take him off.
I don't want Derrick Henry. No.
Thanks for the question, Cap. I'm gonna drop you back. You can hang out backstage. That's awesome.
Everybody's trying to get the king, man. The king got to stay home. Until he's I think the king is going to be in Tennessee at least another 3 years, at least. I can't say anything after that.
Cool. All right, Drew Patron, go ahead and give Mr. Joey a question, and then give me your final thoughts on the night.
Hey, great talks today. Great talks. My question for you, I want to make it another Titans question because I was a big fan of the Titans in my younger days. Playing. I used to love playing with Eddie George back in the day in the old Madden games. So, but I'm curious because I'm a little worried about Derrick Henry, and I think a lot of that team's success rides. You guys kind of live and die. Not necessarily. I know Ryan Tannehill's still there and he's doing his thing, but how confident do you feel about Derrick Henry coming back from this injury? He didn't look necessarily the same, when he did come back. And I'm curious, what do Titans fans feel about his return, and do you think he'll be as dominant as he's been?
Okay, before you answer, final thought for tonight, Drew.
Oh, Miami to the Super Bowl.
Hey, all right. So answer that question, Joey.
Man, all right. My Tennessee Titans and where King Henry is at. I think people mix up the difference between a guy who's healthy and then a guy who came back into the playoffs and just being used to game speed.
Yeah.
I think he was healthy. I just think he wasn't used to the game speed yet. We spoke about this a lot.
He was rushed back because it was the playoffs.
Right. Yeah. And then, there's a lot of emotion in the playoffs. He'd been out half a season and then all of a sudden just jumped right back into that. He never got to ease his way back in. So that's really what you guys saw with King Henry. It was his first game back.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, cool. So CT, final question for Joey.
We're gonna drop off there.
All right. We'll make a fun one. How's Tennessee gonna fare if we see them in the playoffs when the road?
All right, guys. It was that was a fun talk. It was great catching up with the guys over there. Some interesting things. Again, I think if we go back, we talk a little bit about what we think about if this team doesn't perform. What do we think will happen with Tua? If this team doesn't perform, it's either because there's some crazy injuries, right? Like Waddle and Hill and Armstead all go out and they're out for like 7 games, or it's because Tua doesn't hold up his end of the bargain. And if that is the case, if Tua doesn't get it together this year, if he doesn't have a stellar year, I think those numbers that Mike brought up are pretty legit numbers. If Tua doesn't have like a 4,000 yard, 30 touchdown, 10 interception year, I think you got to start to think about maybe he's not the guy and you look to replace him. Now, whether they actually replace him, now that I think about it, you've got to have the options there, right? If there's just nobody available, then okay, then you just ride it out with Tua, similar to how the 49ers have been riding it out with Garoppolo. They win and they got a guy like Trey Lance, but maybe he wasn't ready yet. Maybe he's not ready to take over the reins. But I think if he doesn't have a stellar year, they're going to start looking for other options. And Lamar Miller's the one option out there that everybody says is legit. I don't know. I'm not a big Lamar Miller fan. Maybe it's because Miami exposed him and made him look so terrible last year. And I fear that other teams will emulate that. It's not that difficult to do. Time will tell. I'm not a fan of Lamar Miller to Miami, and I know it would cost you're strapping your team unless he's willing to take less money, but I don't think he is. I think he even wants money with the Ravens to stay with the Ravens. So if they can't keep him there at a reasonable price, what makes us think that we can do it here? I don't know. But if Lamar Miller's not available, next year's draft is kind of, who knows where that's going to stand with quarterbacks. He may get another year and not have, if he doesn't have a stellar year, just for the sheer fact that there's just not any better options available. I know Cap likes to talk about Tom Brady to Miami, but I think that ship has sailed. Tom Brady went back to the Bucs. He recruited guys to play for the Bucs. He's probably going to ride it out with the Bucs until he's done. I don't see him jumping ship again to a third team at that point. I think the Bucs are going to take a big step back, so I think they're not going to have a great end of the season. He's probably going to see that, and he'll probably retire after this year. And maybe he comes to the team as a part owner in some capacity later on down the line. He hasn't ruled that out, and we heard a lot of rumors about that being a possibility. So anyway, well, I think I'm going to call it a night here. I appreciate everybody that stopped by. I appreciate Sean Exhale, who joined us on the panel, who was a great guest on the Fins Tailgate panel. By the way, I'd be wrong if I didn't plug them. The Fins Tailgate on YouTube. I believe they're on Twitch too, but they're YouTube-centric channel run by El Capitan Chris. And Mike was one of the guys that he's a host there, and then Color also another host. Those guys are really great, really friendly. We always have really good conversations when we're there, and I just started streaming myself when I'm streaming with them, and I like the format. I mean, you guys will see if it's something that you guys are interested in me continuing to do, but it's fun. I like being on there, and I like having my own takes here too. So if it works, then we'll keep rocking it. But until next time, we'll see you guys. Thanks again for everybody to stop by. Thanks for Sean for subscribing on YouTube. Really appreciate it. Don't forget the Discord button below. Join the Discord so that when the conversation's done here, we can keep it going over there. All right. Thanks to